In this session, we'll discuss about the half wave rectifier with inductive load. So what is actually happening? Let us observe. So what I mean to here is, say for example, we have a source of a sinusoidal source in which you will be having a diode. This diode is connected to a inductor. There is no freewheeling and nothing is there. Assume like this is the operation. This is the source voltage, this is the load voltage. So the current that is flowing through this is IL. So I am assuming that the voltage drop across the diode is approximately equal to 0, and hence what could be the output and input voltage and current waveforms. Let us observe. So firstly, I am just putting a downscale and I wanted to see how the input voltage waveform is looking like. So now to see the voltage waveform of the input side, I am connecting a voltmeter here, and in this voltmeter I'll see, I mean it is like measuring the signals. I'll see how the waveform is looking like. So this one I am taking as a Vs, that is in volts. So this axis will be the time, that is in seconds. Now this sinusoidal voltage will look like this. So it is looking something like this waveform. So this is the input waveform. Now I wanted to see, I'm interested to see two waveforms. One waveform is the output voltage, one waveform is output current, same time in seconds. Okay, output current. Now observe carefully what is the peculiar behavior that you can see in this thing is, now so this is the positive voltage, isn't it? So assuming the diode having 0 voltage conduction, so it will start from here itself, the diode will start conducting, the voltage will try to develop, the diode starts conducting, voltage will try to develop. So since it is always again in the positive state, it will still conduct till this point. I mean, like if I assume these two are in similar line, this will still in conduction phase. So in this one, what is actually happening? This is always given with a supply, and hence the current will slowly increasing to this point. Now whenever it reaches this point, so this point I am taking as a pi, this point it is taken as a 2 pi, and this point I am taken as a 3 pi. Okay, so why pi 2 pi? You know already that sinusoidal, in the earlier days, sinusoidal is looking like a circular fashion. It starts from 0, this is pi, and this is again 2 pi. So if they want to see with respect to the time, so they just expanded this in this fashion. Okay, it's like a circular cycle actually, if you see. Now what is actually happening, whenever it reaches to this particular point, the diode stops conducting, because the source voltage obviously will be negative. The source voltage is negative and the diode will not conduct at this point. But as per the property of the inductor, the current started flowing through this inductor and it reaches to this point. We will calculate what is the value of this point later. But it will not stop at this point, it will continue in the same direction. So earlier the voltage was developing across the inductor something like this, plus and minus. Whenever it reaches to this point, the polarity of the inductor will changes to minus to plus. So this polarity will goes and it will changes. So it will start in the same direction. It will start continues in the same direction. It will add it to the main source voltage. Okay. So and hence the current still, though current is there, the current will try to go to 0 in this point. in this region the voltage is there, that voltage is again the negative voltage. So if you observe carefully, the source voltage as well as the load voltage looks like the same. So I can simply say that the source voltage Vs is equal to the load voltage Vl, that is equal to output voltage V0, that is equal to Vm sine of omega t. So why Vm? I assume that the peak of this signal is Vm. Okay, now so we know if we want to find out the how the current waveform and how much is the current waveform size. So we know that VL is equal to L DIL by dt. Now from this you want to know IL. DIL by dt is equal to VL by L. VL is equal to Vm sine of omega t divided by L. So now you want to find out the IL. IL is equal to integral Vm by L sine of omega t. So take Vm by L outside. Integral sine theta minus cos omega t. So see again this omega is there, minus cos omega t. So that is divided by omega. Integral cos theta minus cos theta by omega plus a constant. So now this will be Vm by omega L minus cos of omega t plus constant. This is the inductor current. So how do you find out the constant? It is very simple. At this particular point, that means at omega t is equal to 0, IL is equal to 0. It is clear. So IL is equal to 0, Vm by omega L plus minus cos of 0 plus A. Cos 0 is 1. So if I take this to this side, this will become A is equal to Vm by omega L. Substitute, say this is equation number 2 and this is say equation number 1. Substitute 2 in 1 by substituting equation 2 in equation 1. That implies our inductor current IL is equal to Vm by omega L minus of cos of omega t plus Vm by omega L, where A is Vm by omega L. So let us take the Vm by omega L as a common point. So I can just take this one as I said, 1 minus cos of omega t. That is very simple. Now, so we want to see where the output voltage is maximum. I mean output current is maximum. What is the value of the output current we wanted to see? That is very simple. So when pi is equal, when omega t is equal to pi, this will become minus 1. Minus 1 is plus. So this will be the maximum value. So the maximum value of the current that you can see at omega t is equal to pi. So Vm by omega L 1 minus cos of pi. Cos pi is minus 1. Minus 1 is plus 1. Okay. So this will become 2 Vm by omega L is the location where you will get the maximum current. This is the maximum value of the current that you can obtain. So Vm by omega L is one parameter, it is multiplied with 2. So that is very important. So the maximum value of the average value of the current. So this all whatever we have discussed is average value of the current. Now if you want to find out the RMS value, it is quite easy. How do we find out RMS value? So IRMS is equal to 1 by 2 pi integral 0 to 2 pi Vm. So we can take either cos or sine, that depends upon us. So Vm, let me take sine square omega t d omega t. So so this current IRMS is Vm by omega L, right? So we have to take the current waveform. Okay, the current waveform is Vm by omega L. Okay, Vm by omega L. So we have to take Vm by omega L. Vm by omega L whole square. So this is again the cos. Okay. So if I take voltage, then it will be sine. Otherwise, it will be cos. Vm by omega L cos square omega t d omega t. So now if you do this analysis, 1 by 2 pi Vm by omega L whole square integral cos square theta 1 plus cos 2 omega t by 2 integral 0 to 2 pi into d omega t. So if you solve this, you will get Vm by 2 omega L whole square and Vm square. So now this is IRMS square. So now I would like to find out IRMS. IRMS is equal to square, it will go Vm by root 2 omega L. So this is Vm IRMS is this one, and the I average also you found out. So the total current, you can see the RMS value. So the total current is the sum of the DC component as well as the AC component. So the sum of root of mean of square, right? So I naught square plus I1 RMS, I2 RMS, something like this. So this is square. So you will get that. So this one you can write Vm by root 2 omega L can be written as IL by root 2. You can just write that. Okay. So this is IL square by IRMS square. So that is like IL square by 2 whole to power of root. So you can, if you get that approximately that is 1.225 IL. So this is like complete RMS value of the rectified current. So now let us even see that how the things are there in the simulation. So in the simulation, we'll bring out the simulation here and how the things are happening. Let us see. So now I am just putting the inductance of any value, and I'm just seeing how the waveform is looking like, and I'm running this. See how the current is changing. So I mean, like whatever we were seeing the theoretically, the same thing is happening here. Okay. So when this is how the input voltage, this is how the output current that is happening. Okay. So the voltage across the inductor, here you can see slightly the voltage across the inductor is slightly touched to zero. Slightly touched to zero because while it is transitioning, it is touching to zero. So rest everything is like normal and proper, so there is no issue and it is going as usual. So this is like how if you substitute those values, you will get to know how these things are happening. So this is completely the same analysis that we have discussed. So we are giving 100 to 100 and the current is rose to peak like anything. However, the voltage across the inductor is same as the output voltage of this thing. Hope you understood that.